Hello, this is Steve Hosey with CBMC Fresno, and we are back again with our Young Professional Spotlight of the Month. This month, we have Caleb Nale. He's been a part of our CBMC Young Professionals program for quite some time, and he's here to join us and tell you a little bit about him, what he does as a business, and give you guys an opportunity to know who he is as well. Caleb, welcome, brother. How you doing?
We're here.
Yes.
It's good to be here.
Yes, absolutely. It's always good to see you, man. And, we got a chance to talk a few times, during our YP, a couple coffees here and there. So I've got a chance to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah. I had you on my pod.
Yeah.
Yes, and now the tables have turned.
Exactly. That's right. I was going to mention that. So, we went out there. You were doing podcasts at the time, doing the bark board, I believe it was.
Beware of Bulldogs.
Beware of Bulldogs. And so we got to do a little bit of this, but the tables are turned. So now I got the mic. But Caleb.
Be careful.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay.
Hopefully I treated you okay.
You did.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. No worries. I got you. We'll take care of this. So.
I got invited to YP. So
He did. You got invited to YP. So you've been around for a while. But it's good. It's always good to see you, man, and checking up. And, I don't know, the kind of the purpose of what we're doing with this Young Professional Spotlight is to give you, the viewers, the audience, our community, the opportunity to see the guys who are participating in our program. You're looking for different services. You want to know a little bit about them before you do business with them. Number one, all these guys are pillars in our community. I always like to call them the tip of the spear, the next generation of our leaders. And they're out there, and I want you guys to see them. So we invite the guys on. This month is Caleb. And tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Just give us a little brief background. Tell us about yourself before we get into the business. And then we'll talk a little bit about CBMC.
Okay. Well, from the farming town of Kerman.
Okay.
Family has been there forever. Actually, we celebrated, 2019 was 100 years of Nale Farms.
All right.
So we've been around for a while. So I was doing that originally when I joined YP. And then we started a little family winery out there in the small town of Biola, Givali, and been helping out there. Was a winemaker 1 year, ran harvest and everything. Learned a lot. I went to school for it, so hopefully I was okay.
Okay.
But then I'm sure everybody's heard, but almond and raisin prices haven't been the best the past couple of years. So was approached by the boss, the big man, Dad, and he said, "Please get off payroll. It's rough out here." No problem, Dad. So in 2024, I found a place in the insurance world. So now I am a commercial insurance salesman for Draper Smith Insurance Group. And I've been learning the ropes there. It's been the first year I started in the home and auto side, helping people out that were losing insurance in the state of California. It's tough to be in. And then this year, moving into the commercial sales role. So I've been learning a lot. God's been good.
There you go.
And I'm married with 2 kids.
All right. He's on the journey. Good deal. Well, we'll circle back around to some of that business stuff and talk a little bit about that. But let's talk a little bit about CBMC. So we mentioned that you're in the YP program and you come to the meetings that we have once a month. And we start at 5:30, end at 8:30, and we spend a good solid 3 hours there with some food, some fellowship, and some good word. And every now and then we have a sage that comes in that talks to us about, their experiences in the business world. Tell me what CBMC means to you. Tell me a little bit about your CBMC story and why you continue to participate.
Yeah, when I was asked to come out there, and I wasn't familiar with CBMC, but I thought it'd be a good experience because I'm so far out, and I was in the farming world. My community was small, especially with men my age. Oh, this will be fun. So it was, and it has been. So it's really been a place for community. And when I changed careers, I didn't attend CBMC, the YP group. I missed quite some time, and eventually, just work being so far away from where the commute was long. But now being back in it, and I mean, I was thinking about how I was going to address, because I knew you were going to ask me this, how I was going to address it. But it's really a great place for a community, for guys to just, I don't know if this is the best way to put it, but it's a safe place to talk business, theology, bring questions. I remember starting out, one of the things was said is, it's kind of what happens in this room, what is talked about in this room stays there. And I feel comfortable sharing different things that are going on, whether in family life,
Yeah.
my marriage, business world, and just knowing that, I think not only encourages me, but encourages other guys to share. And we have very fruitful conversations and challenging conversations. And it keeps me coming back. I really enjoy it. We have a good time. And then not to have you there, and then a Sage, and I appreciate Pat there as well.
Yeah.
There's so much wisdom there and experience. I mean, to be honest, I don't know why you wouldn't come. Like
Yeah.
it's awesome. I've really enjoyed it, and so community one, and then just being in a place to where I can trust guys and know that they're seeking wisdom from our Creator is huge.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I appreciate everything you've said about CBMC. One of the things that stood out to me when I first put the YP group together and started getting guys in and talking to them about just their lives and their connections. And you said this word several times. You said community, community, community. And I was surprised that some of the guys was like, I don't have any friends. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? Right? You're a young guy and you're working. You don't have any, no, I don't have any friends. And I think what they really meant is like-minded friends. Like you said, people that you can trust, people that you know you can talk to about, your relationships at home, at the workplace, your faith, and what's going on in your business. And I think that's one of the things that's continue to keep guys coming back, because we do have that safe space where guys can talk about that. And I always tell people, Bible studies are awesome and great. You can come in and study the Word of God, but we have another layer on top of that. Not only we could talk about our theology and our relationship with the Lord, but we can talk about our business. And there's been some challenging conversations, like you said, right? It's really like, hey, let's flush this out. How do we handle this and still honor our faith? How do we go down this road? We have to provide for our families, and we need to make money for our organizations. But how to continue to put God first. And so you're right. It's been really cool to see everyone in the room kind of wrestle with that from time to time. But safe place.
Yeah, and knowing that the guys there want to see you succeed and grow.
Yes.
That's another huge thing that I appreciate.
No, that's cool, man. So, I've asked some of the guys when we've had these interviews, kind of, we mentioned we have a Sage come in, which is our seasoned, action-oriented, godly executive, right? So I always got to put that out there. And they've been awesome to come and share their wisdom with the group. Is there one person or one theme or one takeaway that stands out to you that you've heard over the last few years?
Yeah, it's recent.
Okay.
And it's not one particular Sage, I would say, but we had you put on a talk over at Pardini's the other month ago or so, and there was I'd say there's like top 1% business owners there sitting around some tables, and you had everybody get up and share, and the consistent topic that was talked about was family. Family.
Yeah.
And I think, as young guys trying to, whatever the grind is, but, going after the grind is that sometimes family can get put in the background. And just to see these very successful businessmen that follow the Lord say, family is always first, always comes first. That stood out to me. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring up that I was thinking about was, he's not a Sage, but Patrick Kim, who's a part of this group. I appreciate Pat a lot and what he does for us. But he says something a lot that I enjoy, and that's, as followers of Christ, if we are not providing for the family, then that makes us, almost worse than unbelievers. And I don't know why, but that sticks out to me every time he says it, and I think about that. So those are two things that consistently stick out to me.
Wow. No, those are big. Those are two big things, man. And I think, in a sense, we're all have to be challenged with that. And I think that's part of the beauty of the group, is that we can hear these things and we can talk about it and we can flesh it. And as long as we're continuing to put the Lord first in these things, we got a chance, because we know it's rough out there, right? And we stick together, we serve God the best we can. And no, those are some great things, man. Some great takeaways. So I definitely appreciate your input as well. Whether realizing that you come up with some good stuff from time to time, so I appreciate it.
Make me feel good.
No, I mean that sincerely. But let's transition a little bit. You started talking about your business a little bit and a little bit about the family life. So we talked about CBMC. Um, Tell us about what you're doing these days. You talked about some history with the farm, and that's really cool. But what's going on today?
Well, today my day job is, like I said, selling insurance, and so since I just began, I'm figuring out how to communicate with people that I'm selling insurance,
Sure.
learning what it means to be, you know, not necessarily, I don't want to say salesman, I'm trying to get rid of that word, but to be in relationship with people and provide them a product, which is insurance for their business. And coming from family businesses, my wife and I have started a business in the past. We have the family winery. I understand what insurance plays a role in all of that. And so now it's, as I'm building my book,
Mhm.
learning to how do I build a relationships and, talking with guys from CBMC and things like that, and men in sage positions and mentor positions. It's all about relationships and
Yeah, yeah.
focusing on discipleship. And so as I build a book of business in the insurance world, I am and this has just happened over the past 2 months. I'm coming to this realization. It's less about selling insurance and more about um, providing, helping people, providing a need for these people. And then, but most importantly, how is my relationship with them? And am I discipling them to Jesus? Maybe they already know Jesus and walk with him.
Hmm.
And if not, well, I'm in the picture now and I'm going to do that.
Wow.
So it's less about
Cool.
selling insurance
Yeah.
and now about discipling people to Christ, which I think is pretty cool. I've always wanted to do that. I didn't know, I'm scared. And now kind of the Lord has now thrown me into a position like, well, now I'm gonna put you in a position where you have to go and talk to
Yeah.
people. And it's not about um, making money anymore. It's about telling people about Jesus.
Yeah.
And so, and because of that, I believe that the Lord will provide. It's not about me. I can't do anything. The Holy Spirit's going to work through me. Um, and so I'm excited for what the Lord has in store for me. So, because I'm brand new to this world and to the world of insurance, and then to the
Sure.
world
Sure.
of discipling people, and then telling people about Jesus, and because it can
Yeah.
be a scary place,
Yeah.
but I'm excited for
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to check your ID because I think you're way ahead of what you're telling me.
it.
You're under 40 because some of the things you're talking about, there's people in the business 10, 15, 20 years that haven't really got that concept yet, right? That we're out there as believers in Christ serving God. We're
Mhm.
servants. You mentioned you didn't want to use this words salesperson, right?
Right.
You're a
That's
servant,
good.
right? And you're out there talking about how you wanted to disciple, tell people about the Lord, mentor, all within the atmosphere of serving them and working to help them meet a need for their businesses and for their families.
Hmm.
It's taken businessmen a long time to kind of put these two things together because as a young business person, and I've been there, you're trying to take care of the family, you're chasing the dollar, you're trying to please the boss, all these things, and then sometimes you're right, our faith can kind of get pushed too, but you're pushing forward with your faith at a young age and a young stage in your career, and I applaud you for that, man. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm going to keep you updated. We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
Yeah.
man. You got me, you got the group of guys, and we're always concerned about how everybody's doing and putting stuff on the table. But it's taken that's a lot of wisdom there, and I want to commend you for that. So,
I think CBMC's played a huge role in getting me to
mm,
that stage because, well, I know like I come planning with questions,
sure,
trying
sure,
and the fact that guys are willing to hear me out and guys reach out afterwards and kind of help me along the way, or we just have discussions. I think, and then I'm in the Word, and guys at CBMC are in the Word, and it all
yeah,
comes from a
yeah.
good place. Like, I mean, highly recommend CBMC, young professionals, or even the 40 plus. What's it called?
The trusted advisors,
Trusted
yes, yes,
advisors. Yeah.
yes. So those are
So,
hopefully we'll get some of those guys to start coming in and speaking with us, but they're meeting on the same nights that we are too. So that's been pretty cool to see those guys continue to grow and build. But all that stuff is great stuff, man. What you're just talking about there, and again, just appreciate you coming around and being a part of the group. I'm thinking back to a lot of the conversations we had, and you're right. The guys, the best thing for me is when the young guys in the room connect with each other outside of the
Hmm.
room, right? And
Hmm.
then we build those relationships. So A, we're growing together. B, no one has to be alone. C, you have people that you trust, that believe in the same God that you believe in. And so when you have to check a brother and go, hey, that's not how we're supposed to be rolling, right? And you go, yeah, you're right. And that's a cool part to me to see that going. It's like a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah, Christian businessman connection.
Yeah.
And it's not, I think people can get it twisted. It's not connected to like a net. Well, it is, but it's not a network that, well, this is going to help me get higher in my position.
Yeah.
It's a network of believers that want to help you in your walk with Christ, and it's huge. I think it's great.
Yeah. No, hey, I'm with you. That's why we're here, man. And I want everybody else to know. I want them to see guys like you that has an enthusiasm for what you do, your background as a human being, as a family man. Tell us a little bit about the family real quick before we get out of here. I didn't give you enough time to talk about the family. The wife, kids. Give us a little bit. Where you at with all that?
Wife, I believe we've been married 7 years. She's gonna get me on that if I'm off. But 7 years.
Okay.
2 kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. Keeps us busy. Love it. My 2-year-old is all about tee work, man. So I know you're a baseball guy.
Yes, absolutely.
We will hit off the tee for hours.
There you go.
And he swings lefty.
Ooh.
So,
All
and
right.
throws righty.
Swings lefty, so he can play any position, but he's gonna up there rake the rights. Okay, I get you. I can follow that.
I'm gonna be calling you for some to teach him.
Hey, you got it, man. I got it. I have my grandkid now who's 7, and he's in the minors, so we get some work in the backyard too as well. So I'm already ready, man. Getting the arm ready for some BP and all that good stuff. Well, good deal, man. So before we get out of here, so here's the question, the $1 million question. If I'm in the community and I'm looking for someone for his insurance, why should I call Caleb?
Oh, that's a good question. It is $1 million question, I guess. So in the state of California, I mean, as you know, insurance is
pretty tough these days.
It's tough. And so I'm going to deal with the insurance carriers. We're a broker, so I have multiple options. But I think what separates Caleb from another broker is that I really do. And not only do I care about you, but I care about your salvation and your family and your work life. I mean, I want to be your friend. That's what we're called to do. And so I think, it's reading all these insurance books and all these different things. They talk about what makes your agency different, what makes you different, things, and everybody's got the same answers. So it can be tough. But my answer from what I've found over the past 2 months is that I really do care about your relationship with Jesus. And if you don't have one, well, I'm bringing you one.
There you go.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna get you there. But my answer to the insurance book, is that we have lots of options. My phone is always on. They can, and we have a family winery. So you want to come drink wine and talk about your policy, we can do that.
All right. Well, you had me at you cared about me and my family. So you already had me sold there. So I hope he's got you sold. Again, this is Caleb Nale. He's our Young Professional Spotlight of the Month here at CBMC Fresno. We'll try to bring you a new guy every month so you and the community can know what's going on with our young professionals. And if you need a service, you like what you see, these guys, the theme is reoccurring. These guys want to serve. They're honest. They love the Lord, and they want to serve and help your family. So please give them a call. Where can they find you again? Last time?
Caleb Nale, C-A-L-E-B, Caleb with a C, just like the Old Testament. And Nale, N-A-L-E. N as in Nancy, A-L-E. Phone number is 559-704-9036. Love the chat.
There you go.
Meet you for coffee.
All right. Well, this has been Steve Hosey with CBMC Fresno. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next month with another CBMC Young Professional Spotlight of the Month. This is Steve Hosey for Caleb Nale. Thank you, and God bless.